Hi, everybody.
Hey, you're here.
The impeachment crowd is here.
Yeah. They switched his lunch hour off.
Yep.
Yeah.
How y'all doing? Good. Nice to see John Braddock. Haven't seen you in a while, John.
Oh, I've been working out for Obama.
Have you?
Oh,
Good.
Good.
We see your emails come through and all your encouragement.
I got a couple
Joe
of
Walsh.
projects on the burner.
How you doing, Joe?
Pretty good. We have
Still packing that Constitution around?
it is. It's getting warm.
Good.
I haven't met a politician who wants to read it though. They think it's a banned book. They said it was banned in 1780 in Salem. They think it's witchcraft. So I said, no, it's a Constitution. They said, no, it's a bad book. It's a bad book. It tells us to do things. We don't want to do things. But there is some good news going on.
Really? Locally or on the big international?
On the national level,
national
I think something's going on. Except we're not absolutely sure what it is. But there's something in the air that maybe, this is a big maybe, that the Democrats are going to stand tall. Somebody gave them a spine. Because the Democrats all voted to send the bill to the Judiciary Committee, all of them.
All of them?
All of them. The only ones that voted against it were the Republicans. And we picked up, not sure the number, but I think about 16 Republicans voted to send a bill to impeach their party leader to the Judiciary Committee. That is significant, that the Republicans would do that. So we think there may be a crack in the dike. And you know what happens with a crack in the dike? It doesn't last too long where you have this huge explosion. So we'll see. When we have the hearings with Scott McCullough in front of, I think John Conyers is going to chair that hearing.
Is that coming up pretty soon?
It's coming up in a week or so, I think.
Oh, nice.
And if that comes up, and he says half the things he said in interviews under oath, then the Democrats have a huge problem. Because what Scott McCullough is saying is these guys are criminals. They've broken the laws. They violated, they did what Bush once said was treason. That's what Bush once said. When you out a CIA agent, that is treason. They could be hung. It could be.
Well, we've known all along this were serious things here.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if he testifies to that, then Conyers is going to have a big problem. Republicans are going to have a huge problem.
Is Conyers kind of working with us on this a little bit, or it's sort of, is he kind of like a bump in the road that we got to get over, kind of around?
There was rumors a few months ago, and I think you and I may have talked about this, that Conyers was waiting until August, September, October to start impeachment hearings on Cheney. And the thinking was that the reason he wanted to do that was to stop them from doing something really weird like bombing Iran. And they suspected that's when they were going to do it. Now, Scott Ritter says it's going to happen sooner than that. But with all the stuff that's flying around the White House right now, we may have stopped another war, which would be great. If we get Bush out of office without a war with Iran, we've succeeded in some level.
Yeah.
Because he was set to go. Everybody, even Scott McCullough, said they're set to go.
Yeah.
So something stopped them.
Yeah.
Maybe the Joint Chiefs of Staff, maybe the chairman. Maybe it was just all the scandals week after week that just worn them down. Not sure what it is, but if we come out in January without going to war with Iran, the peace movement ought to really go out and celebrate. So that would be a good thing.
Yeah, us banging the drum, all the people banging this drum about Iran has maybe caused it to tilt a little bit instead of just swarming in there and.
Well, what's happening now is when Bush was overseas and he starts banging the war drums again, people are not just not paying attention. They're laughing at him. All right? The only way that Bush could go to war with Iran right now is to get into a plane himself and bomb them. And since he's a coward, he's not going to do that.
No.
So we think we stopped him.
Good, good, good.
We hope. We'll see. What do you think?
Exciting stuff, exciting stuff.
You think all the stuff that's going on that we may have stopped the war with Iran?
I think there have been a couple times along the way when they were getting ready and they got turned back. I think Hurricane Katrina put back the attack on Iran by a season. You know, I felt like in the fall of 2005 when the rhetoric was coming forward just like it did with Iraq, that Cindy Sheehan standing outside the gate followed by Katrina interrupted him enough that
a step back, I think. Yeah, and everybody raising these issues and just getting talk about it instead
Scandal
of
after scandal.
Yeah.
You know, slowed them down. So now when Bush talks about bombing Iran, the only way he could do that now is get into a plane by himself, you know, and do it himself. Because even when he was in Europe, people were laughing at him. I mean,
he was not having a good day yesterday. He had a I think somebody must have played him or told him about the Kucinich, the coverage Kucinich got on C-SPAN, which really must be a shock that C-SPAN covered that, you know, for 4 or 5 hours when he did it, and then the next night when the staff read it in, and when I went home and fired it up, I'm going, wow.
Yep.
It was also covered. Someone told me today that it was covered in the Oregonian.
Yeah.
So if the Oregonian, which to me is a very, very conservative newspaper, the editorial staff,
See you guys later. Good to meet you.
if they're covering it, then you know, that's significant. You know, once it starts breaking into that area of journalism, then, you know, when the dike gets a crack in it, all hell breaks loose when it goes. And when this stuff starts coming down, just like Nixon sat there and was arrogant.
I'm not a crook.
I'm not a crook. I'm going to stay here until it's over. I'm not resigning. Boom, the dam broke. Republicans started running to him and say, "You got to get out."
And it took a year. It took a year. And it's going to have to be accelerated here. When I sent my email out the other day and I said, "Feels like 1973," that's because, you know, in '73 it was starting to move. Those guys resigned. Haldeman and Ehrlichman resigned. And you thought they were going to go that night, but it took a whole nother year until they took the testimony from Buttersworth, or whatever his name was, Butterfield, Alexander Butterfield, who said they're taping everything in the White House. And it's going to take something. Maybe McClellan's the catalyst that'll make it go.
This testimony is going to be...
Or maybe it's the guy that follows McClellan, because there's people that know a lot more than McClellan.
It's going to be well covered. Even the, I call them a corporate media or the propagandas, CBS, ABC, NBC, they're going to cover it. And if he says half the stuff he said on interviews under oath, all hell's going to break loose. Because for the first time, the American people will see what we've been saying for a year, and it will be there. And that's what Dennis did. He laid it out. He really pushed this over the top.
Yeah.
Now it's up to us to scream, yell, keep the fight going, keep in the streets, keep the pressure on Obama, keep the pressure on all of the politicians, and say you must do more than just vote, damn it. You have to lead the parade. You have to say, hey.
Did when you said all the Democrats voted, did Blumenauer then vote?
Yes, Blumenauer. Yes, every Democrat.
Hold me up.
And I sent he and Julio a note and said, please, vote for this, get it into hearings. And so they both did.
Yes.
All the Democrats but one, and Pelosi didn't cast a vote. So I don't know if she doesn't get the vote from the chair or what, unless it's a tie.
She was chairing it, so I'm not sure either.
But
I don't think she does.
And then there was one, and it may be one of the brand new Democratic congressmen voted no vote, and I don't know what the story was. And then Barbara counted, and there's one person missing, and she couldn't figure out who it was. Pelosi was missing, and then one other vote. But yeah, I was proud that Earl did that. You know.
I wonder if that was hard for him to do. I mean, we've been down here for like a year trying to, get him to think about this and acknowledge it.
No, I took some pride in that.
It's significant people to look at is Hoyer and Emanuel. They voted for this, which they are the right hands of Nancy Pelosi. When they vote for something, that's what she wants done.
That's a little bunch of follow the leader going on too, huh?
Well, maybe they're coming around. Maybe
they're coming around.
But now, one thing, in my email to Earl and Darlene, I said this: now Hillary's out of play. Now, I mean, I think there was some resistance to getting into impeachment because the front end of that war has Clinton's fingerprints on it. The policies that gave rise to putting Bush in the position to go and exercise that power, they do date back into the Clinton administration. The characterization of Saddam as a madman and the WMD, all the language and stuff. And I think they found it very hard when she wouldn't back off of her vote to start an impeachment proceeding. And now with her, you know, basically out of play, maybe it's easier to do with Obama as the candidate. So
Makes sense. Yeah,
good point. That's
makes
a good
sense.
point.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't think about that. My fear is that Pelosi is knee deep in this. You know, we know that she knew more about the torture. We know she knew more about spying. That was led on. So my fear is that she is terrified that if she opens up impeachment hearings, she's going to get caught. Rockefeller's going to get caught. Reed's going to get caught. Emanuel, Hoyer, they all knew what was going on and did nothing. Mm-hmm. Now, if that's true, that's why they resisted so much, because the crap is too close to them. And they're afraid that if they open up the hearings, that the Republicans are going to retaliate by calling their own witnesses and say, she knew. He knew.
Well,
and that would be devastating to the Democrats.
Not to say that we, not to say we haven't tried to give them a little clue or warn them that they're being complicit in this and they're not listening, and this could all blow up on them.
That's right. And what's happening is it is blow up. Nadler, who is the sub-chairman of the Judiciary Committee, is now being challenged in the primary by a very good candidate. So now, all of a sudden, Nadler's paying attention. And that's going to happen everywhere in the United States. Every election, they have to be challenged. Win or lose, challenge them. And let them be nervous. Mm-hmm. Because a politician who's nervous is a good politician.
And you can quote him on that.
All right.
I'm Glenn Owen. Yesterday evening at Laughing Horse Books, Alex Ansary, Outside the Box, did a live town hall meeting from Laughing Horse Books. We had a very interesting group of local guests. He's going to be doing it again on Wednesday evening, July the 9th. That's the second Wednesday, and I encourage everybody to come in and put in your 2 cents worth. This time he allowed some people to phone in, which is his normal format. I'm going to recommend that next month you stick to the people in the room, especially if we get a good crowd. If we have a crowd of the quality we had last night, but twice that number, I'm sure I can persuade it. The audio for that is on pdx911truth.org. It's right at the top, MP3 Alex Ansary, and it's in 1616 MP3, so if you got dial-up you can still listen to it.
All right.
And I strongly recommend it. We also had an telephone interview with a lady who was an observer, a rather aggressive one at the Bilderberg conference, and that alone was worth taking a listen. Our local people were good too, including Joe Walsh, who, in my opinion, was the star yesterday evening. I mean, he's shown as brightly as Alex.
You know, this is a running process.
It was a relatively short thing, but he was good.
All right.
I guess
good,
he got
Glenn.
something from being a candidate.
Good.
I understand he is supporting Mike Mayo
If you
for
really
the
like
conventional election against
just sign up and don't do anything.
EArl Blumenauer
That's kind of cool.
coming up
You
in
get to do the
November.
radio stuff. And you get interviewed.
I'm hoping we can get Mike Mayo and Joe Walsh for that meeting, for that live town hall at Laughing Horse in July.
In July.
Wish us luck.
Okay, Glenn, thanks for telling us all about that. Okay. Okay, we're all rolling, and your name is?
My name is Michael Mayo, and I am asking for your vote. I'd like you to vote for me for U.S. Congress. I am the nominee of the Pacific Green Party for the 3rd Congressional District. My name will be on the ballot in November, and I'm hoping that you will be considering voting for me. My platform is that of peace.
Good.
I'm going to be able to offer you and everyone who votes for me, were I to be elected, ironclad guarantee that I will vote in under no circumstances for any funds for war.
Nice. That in itself got us interested, definitely. Thank you. We're outside of Blumenauers' office here too, right?
Blumenauer has been the object of a vigil that was begun by Joe Walsh, who has endorsed my candidacy. He ran against Blumenauer in the primary election and has endorsed me for the general election, which is one reason why you might consider voting for me. Blumenauer has a record of refusing to consider impeachment. He is a Democratic Party politician, and the Democratic Party is on record as taking impeachment off the table. Even when articles of impeachment with plenty of documented evidence for believing that there's reason to accuse the president of the high crimes and misdemeanors that the Constitution says are grounds for removal from office. Even when they are presented with that, they refer it to committee. And Blumenauer was one of those who voted a day ago to commit it to committee.
Now, do you have a website you might want to recommend?
Mayo for Congress. Mayo is spelled M-E-O for F-O-R. Congress, I think everyone knows how to spell.
.org or .com?
In both, actually.
Oh, good. Nice.
So it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You just put in Mayo for Congress and push the thing, and it'll come up one of the two.
Well, good. I'll start reading up about you, and most likely I'm going to be supporting you.
I hope so.
Okay. Well, thanks for being out here, too.
I do. If you'd like, I can give you a business
Sure.
card. I am the chair of the math department at Benson High School.
Oh.
That's within sight of here.
Yeah, I know where that is. So what's
actually
what's that what's that mean?
Polytechnic means that it is the school is devoted to vocational training, professional technical training. We have one section where you can get experience in being a medical technician. We have another one, a full panoply is set up for you to become a dental technician. We have operating machine shop where you can learn to fabricate things in metal. We have an automobile repair place, and we have a radio station. So it is a professional technical school, and it wins prizes nationwide.
All right.
For the advanced training that it gives its graduates.
That's good. That's real good. Well, I appreciate what you're doing with the school and what you're out here on the street. And
the issue is to bring before the electorate, in as much as we possibly can. The issue is to bring before the electorate the issue of peace. Everybody should have the chance to vote for peace.
You bet.
And instead of voting for two people or both of them for war. I want everybody who is for peace to vote for me. A vote for Mayo is a vote for peace.
Oh, and Cynthia McKinney is another one from your party.
Cynthia McKinney is the head of our party. She has obtained enough votes. She is the presumptive nominee. It hasn't been officially recorded yet. But in July, there will be a nominating convention in Chicago that the Green Party of the United States, one doesn't want to make statements about the future because they might change. As has been said, predictions are always questionable, especially those about the future. The fact is that she is the presumptive nominee. She has an arithmetic majority of the committed delegates to her favor, and we're expecting, all of us, that she will be our standard bearer come November.
Good. I like Cynthia.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the things I am planning. One of the things I am planning is a part of the program of my running for Congress will be to urge people to become registered to vote with the Green Party. The Green Party is a party where I can, and people like me, can, without having to compromise our principles, we can say we wholly and unreservedly are in favor of what the party stands for. That we are in favor of a party that says there is economic justice that is deserved for the peoples of the world. That we are a party that wants the best humane way to educate and regards the human rights as extending to those of economics, to all of us have a job and all of us have health care as part of an assumed human right. This party is something that I want everyone who votes for me to register for.
Nice. Good platform. Thank you.
Thank you.